September 10th, here. The other 25,000 when they disappear.
Time?
3 o'clock.
There's a strange rule in the world of organized crime. The higher you rise, the closer you stand to your own downfall. In the Mafia, power doesn't just attract money and respect, it attracts enemies. And sometimes, those enemies are the very people sitting at the same table as you. Behind the glamorous image of mob bosses and secret deals was a darker reality, a world where loyalty could disappear overnight and betrayal was often paid for in blood. Some of the most powerful figures in the underworld didn't fall to police investigations or court trials. Instead, their stories ended suddenly. Inside restaurants, hotel barbershops, quiet homes, or even crowded city streets. Today, we're stepping into that dangerous world, exploring 20 of the most infamous mafia hits ever carried out, where ambition, betrayal, and power collided with deadly consequences. 1. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. On February 14, 1929, one of the most infamous gangland killings in American history shocked the world. 7 members of Chicago's North Side mob were lined up against a wall and gunned down by men posing as police officers. The brutal attack used Thompson submachine guns and was widely believed to be ordered by Al Capone to eliminate rival leader Bugs Moran. Ironically, Moran himself narrowly escaped death after spotting what he thought were real police outside the building and turning away before entering. Number 2. The Assassination of Joe Masseria. Joe Masseria once ruled New York's criminal underworld, but ambition and betrayal eventually sealed his fate. In 1931, during the violent Castellammarise War, Masseria was betrayed by his own lieutenant, Lucky Luciano. While eating at a restaurant in Coney Island, Masseria was suddenly attacked and shot dead. Luciano's calculated move allowed him to rise in power and reshape organized crime in America. The hit marked the beginning of a new era where the Mafia would operate more like a structured business. 3. The killing of Salvatore Maranzano. After defeating his rival Joe Masseria, Salvatore Maranzano declared himself the boss of bosses, expecting absolute loyalty from every crime family. But younger mobsters had other plans. In 1931, hitmen disguised as government tax agents entered his office on Park Avenue. Within moments, Maranzano was brutally murdered with knives and gunfire. The assassination was secretly orchestrated by Lucky Luciano. 4. The fall of Dutch Schultz. Dutch Schultz was a powerful bootlegger, but his unpredictable behavior made him a serious problem for other mob leaders. When Schultz planned to assassinate federal prosecutor Thomas Dewey, the Mafia feared the massive attention it would bring. In 1935, the commission decided he had become too dangerous to keep around. Gunmen entered a restaurant in Newark and shot him multiple times. Schultz didn't die immediately. He spent hours delirious, muttering strange poetic phrases that police stenographers recorded before he finally passed away. 5. The murder of Bugsy Siegel. Bugsy Siegel was a charismatic gangster who helped turn Las Vegas into a gambling empire. However, his ambitious Flamingo Hotel project went massively over budget, costing the Mafia millions. Some bosses believed Siegel was secretly stealing money from the project. In June 1947, while relaxing inside his girlfriend's Beverly Hills home, a sniper fired through the window. Several bullets struck Siegel, killing him instantly. His death allowed the mob to take full control of the Flamingo and cement Las Vegas as their new playground. 6. The barbershop hit on Albert Anastasia. Albert Anastasia was feared throughout the underworld as the ruthless leader of Murder, Inc., earning nicknames like Lord High Executioner. But even the most feared killers can become targets themselves. In 1957, while sitting in a barber's chair at the Park Sheraton Hotel in New York, 2 gunmen suddenly burst inside. With nowhere to escape, Anastasia was shot repeatedly in front of the mirror. The shocking public assassination was reportedly arranged by rival mob leaders who wanted to take control of his crime family. 7. Crazy Joe Gallo's birthday ambush. Gallo was a rebellious mobster who openly challenged powerful crime bosses. On April 7, 1972, his 43rd birthday, Gallo was celebrating with family at a restaurant in Little Italy. Suddenly, gunmen stormed inside and opened fire. In a desperate attempt to protect those around him, Gallo flipped over a table before stumbling outside onto the street. Moments later, he collapsed and died. The dramatic hit became one of the most famous restaurant assassinations in Mafia history. 8. The killing of Sam Giancana, the powerful boss of the Chicago outfit, had deep connections with celebrities and even political figures, but his influence made him dangerous to many powerful people. In 1975, just days before he was expected to testify before a Senate investigation, Giancana was murdered in his own basement. While cooking sausage and peppers late at night, someone shot him multiple times in the head. The suspicious timing fueled decades of conspiracy theories involving the Mafia. 9. The disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa, the famous Teamsters union leader, had strong ties to organized crime. But when he attempted to regain power in the union, the Mafia saw him as a serious threat. On July 30, 1975, Hoffa disappeared after arriving at a meeting outside a restaurant in Michigan. Despite massive investigations and endless rumors, from buried stadiums to hidden fields, his body has never been found. Most investigators agree that Hoffa was murdered by mob associates and secretly disposed of to eliminate any evidence. 10. The car bomb that killed Danny Green. Danny Green was an Irish mobster who openly challenged the Italian Mafia in Cleveland. Known for his fearless attitude, Green survived numerous assassination attempts, including shootings and earlier bomb attacks. But in October 1977, his luck finally ran out. As Green left a dentist appointment and approached his car, a powerful bomb hidden nearby detonated. The explosion killed him instantly and shook the entire neighborhood. Ironically, the investigation into his death later helped authorities dismantle several powerful mob operations. 11. The execution of Carmine Galante. Carmine Galante, acting boss of the Bonanno crime family, was known for his bold ambition and open defiance of other mob leaders. In July 1979, while eating lunch at a Brooklyn restaurant, 3 masked gunmen suddenly opened fire. Galante was killed instantly, his cigar still in his mouth. The hit was reportedly approved by the Mafia Commission, which saw him as becoming far too powerful. 12. The fate of Dominic "Sonny Black" Napolitano. Dominic Napolitano, also known as Sonny Black, unknowingly mentored undercover FBI agent Donnie Brasco. When Brasco's real identity was revealed, the Mafia considered it a devastating betrayal. In 1981, Napolitano calmly accepted his fate. He handed over his personal belongings before attending a final meeting with mob associates, where he was executed as punishment for allowing a federal agent inside the family. 13. The disappearance of Thomas DeSimone. The violent gangster who inspired the character Tommy DeVito in Goodfellas was known for his explosive temper. After allegedly murdering 2 members connected to the Gambino family, he became a marked man. In 1979, DeSimone suddenly disappeared. Most believe he was lured to what he thought was a promotion ceremony, only to be assassinated in retaliation for the earlier killings. 14. Roy DeMeo and the Gemini Method. Roy DeMeo led one of the most brutal crews in Mafia history. His gang used what became known as the Gemini Method, luring victims into a bar, killing them, and quickly disposing of the bodies. DeMeo was linked to dozens, possibly hundreds, of murders. But in 1983, his own associates turned on him. His body was discovered inside the trunk of his car, riddled with bullets. 15. The assassination of Paul Castellano. Paul Castellano, head of the powerful Gambino crime family, ruled with authority but earned resentment among many members. In December 1985, as Castellano arrived at a famous New York steakhouse, 4 gunmen approached and opened fire. The assassination was secretly arranged by ambitious mobster John Gotti, who wanted control of the family. Within days, Gotti rose to power as the new boss. 16. The brutal end of Tony Spilotro. Tony Spilotro was the Chicago outfit's enforcer in Las Vegas, responsible for protecting the mob's casino operations. But his violent behavior began attracting too much attention from law enforcement. In 1986, Spilotro and his brother were lured to a meeting, brutally beaten, and killed. Their bodies were later discovered buried in a cornfield, marking a grim end to their reign in Las Vegas. 17. The murder of Angelo Bruno. Angelo Bruno was known as the Gentle Dawn of the Philadelphia crime family, preferring quiet business deals over violence. However, power struggles within the organization eventually led to betrayal. In 1980, while sitting in his car outside his home, Bruno was shot in the back of the head with a shotgun. His assassination triggered a long and bloody power struggle in Philadelphia's underworld. Chapter 18. The Assassination of Giovanni Falcone. Italian judge Giovanni Falcone became one of the Mafia's greatest enemies after successfully prosecuting hundreds of mob members during the famous Maxi trial. In 1992, the Sicilian Mafia carried out a massive assassination plot. Nearly 900 pounds of explosives were placed under a highway and detonated as Falcone's car passed. The explosion killed him and several others, shocking the entire world. 19. The Tragedy of Giuseppe Di Matteo. In one of the most horrifying acts in Mafia history, young Giuseppe Di Matteo was kidnapped because his father had become an informant. The boy was held captive for more than 2 years as criminals tried to pressure his father into silence. In 1996, the Mafia finally murdered the teenager and dissolved his body in acid, an act that shocked even hardened investigators. 20. The message behind Mafia justice. Many of these killings weren't just revenge, they were warnings. In the Mafia world, power depended on fear, loyalty, and silence. Anyone who threatened the system, whether boss, rival, or informant, risked becoming the next target. These infamous hits show just how ruthless organized crime could be, where alliances changed quickly and survival often depended on knowing when to trust and when to run. If these stories kept you hooked, make sure you don't stop here. The world of organized crime is filled with shocking betrayals, secret deals, and stories that sound almost too unbelievable to be real. If you enjoyed exploring these infamous Mafia hits with us, take a quick second to support the channel. Hit the like button, and most importantly, subscribe so you never miss our next deep dive. Share this video with a friend who loves true crime and mysterious history. We bring you stories that reveal the hidden side of power, crime, and history that most people never hear about, and we'll see you in the next video.